Now we want to do more than just alert. We want to actually show a modal, and we're going to be using a special dialog component from reach dialog. So we'll import this from that reach dialog. There we go. And reach dialog requires that you import reach dialog styles.css. So it just gives us some basic styling that's necessary for this dialog to work. So then we can come down here and add a dialog, and we've got a couple of props we're going to provide here. Aria label for login form. This is where we're going to put our login form, and we'll have is open, and this is going to be a boolean for whether we want to have it open. So I'm going to just set it to true just to get us going, and then we can make that dynamic later. Then we'll add a div here that'll have a button for close, and we'll make that dynamic later as well, and then we'll have an h3 for login. All right, so let's save that and make sure that this is rendering. Sweet, it's rendering exactly what I want. So now let's go ahead and make this button do something, and we'll make this dynamic, and we'll make the login button do something here. So I need to manage some state to determine whether this thing is logged in. So I'm going to have use state for open modal and set open modal. And here we're going to just set that to a string of none. Since we have two modals that could be open, we only want one of them open at a time. We'll just use basically an enum value where you can have none or login or register to determine which modal should be open. And so here we'll have open modal is triple equal to login, and that will determine whether this particular dialog should be open. And so that means when we click on the login button, I want to set the open modal to login. And then when we click on the close button, I can simply, on click here, set open modal to none again, and that will close it. So let's try that out. Click login, there it is. Click close, there it is. Awesome. And then we can do the same thing for our register. So let's just do that. We'll change out register, and we'll say registration form. And if the open modal is register, then this one will be open. We'll have it set to none when we click the close button, and then when we click this register button here, we'll have it set open modal to register. Save that, and register is working. Awesome. Things are looking great. And we can actually compare this to the extra credit that we have in our instructions. If we come here and compare that here, and we're getting the exact same behavior, so things are looking splendid. In review, what we did here to make all of this work is we pulled in the dialog from the reach component library for the dialog, and we also pulled in the styles from reach dialog, and then we rendered that dialog here, providing an aria label for accessibility purposes and an is open so that we can manage the open state. When we click on this login button, we set this open modal state to login, and that's how we determine whether this dialog should be open. And then we have this set open modal to none when we click on the close button. And we do the exact same thing for our registration.